Whatto chaps, how the devil? I'm aware that I'm now starting to sound like some sort of insufferable lefty activist, trying to encourage people to sign petitions and the like. But as I've said many times, when they start going after comedians, that's when you know you're in serious trouble. The one group of people that should always be exempt from being rounded up by the Gestapo is surely the comedians, and people have often talked about how Count Dankula, when he ended up in court, was almost getting treated worse than people did in Nazi Germany, because at least when a German was arrested for mocking the Führer, they actually let the guy off in the end. I believe he got acquitted. And it's more of the same. Chubby Brown, and full disclosure, I have an interest in this because he's a local lad. He's from Middlesbrough, so I've always felt an affinity with Chubby. We used to see him when I was at school, and he'd always sign your homework diary for you with various expletives like "to Matt," "fuck off," "Chubby." You know, he used to give the teachers a chuckle when we went to school. You know, when he was writing obscenities all over school kids' homework diaries, the teachers used to roll their eyes and sort of chuckle about it. Nobody decided they had to form an angry mob and chase him out of town. But that was the 90s, when the world was still sane. Evidently. So it says, Chubby Brown, Sheffield cancellation sparks backlash. There's Chubbs in his patchwork jacket. 28,000 people have signed a petition against the cancellation of Chubby Brown. The Google sporting stand-up comic was to appear at Sheffield City Hall next year, but supporters of the patchwork-jacketed blue humorist, whom some feel is racist and sexist, reacted angrily when the show was pulled. Yes, because the some are in a very small minority. You've got a sort of vocal 10% running the show now, and it's beyond the pale. They aren't in a majority. If we still claim we live in a democracy, the power is supposed to reside with groups of people. The most significant group, doesn't matter whether it's a general election, a referendum, or whether or not someone should be allowed to speak publicly. In fact, it's even worse than we would think, isn't it? Because you don't even need to be popular to be allowed to speak. That's the whole idea behind Speaker's Corner, that you can say things even if you're in a tiny, tiny minority. In La La Land, the modern UK, you're not allowed to speak when you're in the majority, when most people agree with you. You're not allowed to talk. Just wrap your head around that. It's lunacy. So, yeah, I'll put a link in the description. Please take the time to sign that petition if you can be arsed. Because we're vanishing down an awful rabbit hole here. And in 2019, the boss of the town hall in Chubby's hometown of Middlesbrough stood down when the mayor overturned the ban. Most people, even the vast majority of those on the left, in the, let's say, Labour voters in Middlesbrough, 9 out of 10 of them don't think that a comic that's been on the go for 40 years needs to be banned from saying something. Not when we have a fundamental belief even people who are in a tiny minority should be allowed to speak unmolested. Chubby Brown is a comedian. Women and ethnic minorities go to see Chubby Brown. It was the same with Bernard Manning. You used to get people from all walks of life going to see Bernard Manning, and part of his act was he would get up and take the piss out of them, said groups. So if members of said groups are going to them, who are you to tell them they can't do so? Whether or not you find something racist or sexist is purely 100% subjective. Something that you find racist and sexist, somebody might not find racist or sexist. Even, dare I say, women might not find it sexist, and people that happen to be black or brown might not find it racist. It's purely subjective, and anybody with an IQ higher than 2 digits is well aware of it. As usual, the people doing this are, as you might expect, middle-class white arseholes. Not much diversity on the Sheffield City Trust, is there? In fact, it's as old and pale and stale as you could possibly imagine. It is uniformly middle-aged, white fucking dickheads. Give Chubbs your support. Go and sign it if you can be asked. And, I mean, it's not going to get us anywhere, is it? But I think it's a gesture that Chubbs might appreciate. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.